Hi everyone, this video is on exercise 11D question 4. So we are given this equation and we want to find the value of k. First of all, we need to integrate the left hand side, and by solving the equation we can find the value of k. So we have this integral which is kx squared e to the power x cubed dx. Okay, so I think this is very obvious that this is the reverse chain rule, because we have two functions that this function looks like the derivative of this function. So whenever this is the case, then you should use the reverse chain rule, unless something is very complicated and you may need some adjustments. So in this case, the first educated guess is simply e to the x cubed, because we know that when we have exponentials and we differentiate exponentials, then the derivative becomes the coefficient of the exponential. So in this case, when we differentiate e to the power x cubed, so we'll get, let me write that here, so e to the x cubed here. So when we differentiate this, we'll get 3x squared e to the power of x squared here. Now here, we should be careful, and let's imagine that here k is just a number. Like if it, let's say k is 2, so the actual function is 2x squared e to the power x cubed. So in terms of the adjustments, obviously we need to include 2 here, right, for the answer of the integration, and then also a constant of 1/3, because when you differentiate, then you get this 3 here. So if you have 1/3, then they cancel out, and finally you will just be left with 2x cubed. So which is exactly what we want. So that simply means that what happens here is that in terms of the answer to the integration, it is simply equal to k/3 e to the power of x cubed. So as I showed, so let's just differentiate this just to show you what I'm saying. So when you have k/3, then when you differentiate, you'll get 3x squared and then e to the power x cubed, and then this will cancel out and you'll be left with kx squared e to the x cubed, which is exactly what we have on here basically. So okay, now that we know this is the answer to the integration, so let's write that here. So k/3 e to the x cubed, and now we can solve the equation. So also we have the right hand side, which is 2/3 to the 8 minus 1. Okay, now we just substitute the bounds. So first I'm going to take a factor of k/3 first, and then when we substitute k, we have e to the basically power e to the k to the power of 3, and then when we substitute 0, it just becomes 1. So minus 1 is equal to 2/3 e to the power 8 minus 1. Now at this point, I think it's very easy to guess the value of k, because k is here is simply equal to 2, right? Because here is 2 cubed, which is 8, and then here's also k. So yeah, at this point we can just find the value of k, which is 2.